Since 1977, Star Wars has dominated pop culture, from movies, television, action figures, and much, much more. One side of Star Wars collecting is the world of autograph collecting. Many of the stars of the original, prequel, and even sequel trilogies have made appearances at conventions or have been available through private signings. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and even Harrison Ford have done signings in the past. But if you are just getting into the world of Star Wars autograph collecting, where do you start? Today, we're going to take a look and discuss getting into the world of Star Wars autograph collecting. So, where do you start with Star Wars autograph collecting? That is a tricky and loaded question. Which era of Star Wars are you personally a fan of? The original trilogy, the prequels, or maybe the Disney Plus era? Each era has its must-have autographs, and the price to jump into the hobby can vary based on what your focus is. Starting with the original trilogy. Unfortunately, we have lost a lot of the signers who were regulars at conventions, including Dave Prowse, Kenny Baker, Peter Mayhew, Jeremy Bulloch, and even Carrie Fisher. Mark Hamill has recently started doing conventions again after a 6-year break, but at a significantly higher asking price than what he was doing in the past. He was around $300 back in 2017 at New York Comic Con, and now his price has doubled up to $600 or more, depending on the item being signed. Harrison Ford has only done private signings, and his price usually starts around $1,000 before any additional costs are added on. Carrie Fisher passed away in December of 2016. She was a regular on the convention circuit. While there may be a lot of signed pieces out there from Carrie Fisher, they are still finite. This has caused any of her autographs to continue to climb in price, especially after COVID, which grew the collecting market even more. Her autographs can get to $1,000 or more at recent auctions. Outside of the main characters, Anthony Daniels, Ian McDiarmid, and Billy D. Williams are still making appearances. You will find your occasional side character or behind-the-scenes person at these different conventions as well. Alec Guinness was a pretty prolific signer through the mail, but he passed away in the year 2000. Way before the world of Comic-Cons and private signings became what it is today. The number of people collecting autographs through the mail back in 2000 was a lot smaller than it is today, thus making those signed pieces even more finite than most of the other major characters from the original trilogy. Another classic actor, Peter Cushing, is even rarer since he passed away back in 1994. James Earl Jones, who is the voice of Darth Vader, participated in signings with official picks back in 2008 till about 2010 with no official send-ins. Only 2 or 3 real items exist from the era of Rogue One. Otherwise, any other autograph pieces only exist from fan mail, premieres, or from Broadway stage door appearances. Frank Oz, the puppeteer and voice of Yoda, has had a very tumultuous relationship with the world of autograph collecting. He used to be very gracious with collectors looking for autographs in person, but his tune changed as time went on. He would eventually change to only allowing for autographs if they were personalized to the person requesting. Recently, he usually just refuses to sign any Star Wars pieces at all. His reasoning for this change is because he thinks of all the resellers and people out there just looking to make a profit off his autograph compared to those being true fans who really want that autograph in their collection. The creator himself, George Lucas, is a difficult autograph to get since he has only ever signed at public events, such as premieres, award ceremonies, sporting events, etc. And when he does sign at these events, they're usually limited to only a handful of items if he signs any. Moving into the prequel trilogy, those actors have been significantly more accessible in recent times. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen have been regulars on the convention circuit over the last few years. They even have upcoming appearances this year as of the recording of this video. Daniel Logan, who was Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones, has been a con regular since 2002, along with Ray Park, Tamora Morrison, Ahmed Best, and Ian McDiarmid, representing both the original and prequel trilogies. Two of the most elusive signers from the prequels were Liam Neeson and Natalie Portman. Liam Neeson's signed items do exist out there, but he has not been the most receptive signer when at public events. There's a story out there that Liam Neeson told his co-stars not to sign any Star Wars items since there are too many scammers out there that will take advantage of them. Due to this, it was believed that Natalie Portman would never do a signing, whether it be a private signing or a convention appearance. However, in 2020, the unthinkable happened and SWAYU got Natalie Portman to do a private signing. That signing offered a full send-in service and a large selection of photos and items to choose from. After this signing, the thought was that she would never do a private signing again, but as of this video, she is doing another signing with SWAYU this year. Now, there are many of these great pieces out there, with the majority of For the cast of the sequel trilogy, they have only just begun with signings and convention appearances. Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver have been a part of multiple private signings, but it's been a few years since they have offered one. Their autograph prices in the aftermarket have not risen too significantly since then, however. John Boyega did a signing with Topps Authentics around the release of The Last Jedi. He has a signing set up with Celebrity Authentics right now, but it has not been scheduled as of this recording. He signed so much with Topps that his autograph is extremely easy to obtain. A lot of the other sequel cast members have done convention appearances, like Oscar Isaac, Kelly Marie Tran, Billy Lord, Andy Serkis, and Jonas Suotamo, who plays Chewbacca. Overall, the sequel trilogy actors may be the most accessible from an autograph collecting standpoint when it comes to the number of pieces out there and also from a cost perspective. The only other piece of Star Wars that may be equal to the sequel trilogy's accessibility is the Disney Plus TV shows. So many of the actors from the Disney Plus shows are consistently on the convention circuit. Emily Swallow, Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder, Rosario Dawson, Ming-Na Wen, Gina Carano, Katie Sackhoff, David Tennant are just some of the names that you will see the most at conventions all across the world. Carl Weathers was even a very common person at conventions until he sadly passed away earlier this year in February of 2024. The majority of these cast members have been very consistent with private signings as well, so their pieces are very affordable. As time goes on, Star Wars autograph collecting will continue to shift based on which actors are still with us and how much further away we get from the release of each movie or TV show. If you are a new collector, the original trilogy is the hardest to get into since prices only continue to rise as people get older and unfortunately pass away. The prequels may be the most accessible actors from a movie standpoint, but there are still a few outliers that make it harder to finish cast pieces or obtain some of those single autographs. The Disney era of actors are your most accessible and affordable option to brand new collectors. Unfortunately, due to the popularity of Star Wars autograph collecting, there are many fakes that exist out there in the world. You could go onto eBay or any of these other sites and find tons of listings for autographs, and the majority of them are probably going to be fake. So it's important to make sure that you surround yourself with a community that can support your hobby and, of course, point you in the right direction of collecting autographs that are genuine and ones that you will treasure for many years to come. One of the biggest and the best, in my opinion, is Star Wars Autograph Universe. You can join their groups on Facebook, and not only do they have their primary discussion group, but they also have a sales group where all the pieces that are sold through the group are vetted by the SWAYU authentication team prior to them going up for sale. That way you can verify that anything you're purchasing through that group will be real and, of course, be something that you are proud to add to your autograph collection. Which era of Star Wars is your personal favorite? Are you currently an autograph collector, or do you plan on starting collecting? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, help our channel grow. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and also hit that bell notification to be notified when we post brand new content. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep on collecting.